Okay, 365 page sketchbook flip through time. It is 12 degrees here right now, so my heater is going to come on and off. I hope we can all live with that. And Mr. Manderson is very upset that he is not included, and so we may hear from him time to time as well. So I've never done a chatty flip through, so yeah, let's find out. Something I discovered about 3/4 of the way through this book is that I worked it upside down, which doesn't matter at all. This book is not intended as a sketchbook. It's a gridded, I can't remember the name of them because I don't use them anymore, but like calendar, but like day book, where you map out your day and you have the hours and the, you know, all that stuff. What are those called? Planner. This is intended as a planner. And I don't know if we can see on any of these pages, but like, here's the dates and the days of the week and everything. So it's supposed to be this way, but it doesn't matter because I didn't use it that way anyway. So, all right. I don't know why any of you needed to know that. Okay, here we go. I had already started this as I guess an art journal. So there were a few pages already done. I believe this happened when I was drying something on this first page and it just melted the cover with my heat gun, you know. So so I went, when I decided to use it as my 365 page sketchbook, I covered up some of the old images and redid them, but I left some of them. I'm pretty sure both of these were already in here. I don't know that there's any story behind them. I just like to try scribbling different things. I don't know why there's glitter, except that glitter is fun. Very contemplative, colorful lady. Wonder what she's thinking about. Can't remember. These are not great sketches. I was still really struggling with the idea of a sketchbook. I'm not a sketcher. I'm more of an intuitive artist, and that feels really pretentious to say. I don't know why I have that feeling, but some sort of weird judgment that's inside of me for no reason. So I don't typically sketch literal things, images, objects, people, but I started to try, and you'll see I go back and forth between trying to sketch things and just doing whatever in this book. 2024, I probably should say, was definitely the worst and most difficult year of my life so far. I don't want to say so far, I want to say ever. I don't want any more of 2024. And, you know, what it was for me personally wasn't anything compared to what the world has been going through, and people who are suffering genocide in other countries, and but that doesn't mean, you know, that our struggles and our traumas aren't valid or don't affect us in profound ways. So I was working through a lot going through this journal, going through this sketchbook. There may be some images I don't actually share. I had some really difficult feelings, and even though I'm fine, well, I'm fine-ish now, I don't want to alarm people or share maybe those super private parts. So if I skip a couple pages, it won't be many. That's why. So back to, this was a kid at a park sitting, and I loved how her hair was just covering, almost like she hardly looked like she had a body. It was just all hair and knees. And so I sketched her real quick. I'm pretty sure this was a Pinterest image that I copied. I mean, it doesn't look anything like the original image, but I'm pretty sure that's where I saw that. I did a lot, like when I couldn't think of anything to sketch, I would go to Pinterest and I would find images that were intriguing or interesting. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We've been on this page for a long time, but I think it's good to practice your marks and your hand by copying other people's things. As long as you don't sell that image, I don't think it matters. I think copy, copy, copy until you find your own hand. This was all me. This was chaos. This is actually from a tea set that I had when I was a little kid, Little Miss Muffet, or actually I think it was like a Mother Goose ceramic tea set. And I just loved Little Miss Muffet. So I painted her here. I think there are some notes. I don't know about the bird. This was just a wild, messy page. And I'm pretty sure I continued with her, yes, for a minute. There's Mother Goose. Oh, Mother Goose tea set. Yes, there it says. Little Miss Muffet. She's painted inside the bowl. There's a cup, a saucer, and a bowl. Maybe she's on the cup. I can't remember. I'm good at this. Anyway, there's some Miss Muffet. There she is again. I was smitten with her cute little face. It's adorable. I'm sure I drew this just to complete the idea, the thought. I don't know. This image was already in here. I honestly don't remember what I was thinking. I like this image. Not sure what it means. I may have been watching The Walking Dead. I have no idea. These hash marks are something that I scribble and doodle a lot. They mean different things for me at different times. Sometimes it's about repetitive thoughts. Sometimes it's about patterns that I repeat that I want to change. Sometimes it's counting how long something is taking or how far it is until something I'm looking forward to. For this one, I'm going to guess it was repetitive thoughts. This one, it looks very Donnie Darko, only not at all. I think I just enjoy that look, and yeah, I'm not sure what that guy is, but I like him. This was a collaged page in this book already. I doodled the flower and added a little bit of color on top of it just to kind of cover up the collage that I didn't love. More collage, nothing profound about it. I feel like I'm doing a poor job, y'all. It's okay. We've got a lot of pages to go. This was a bunch of stickers that I just stuck in here. This was a piece of packing tape that came from something I ordered from Bye Bun. I don't know if y'all are familiar with her, but she's an amazing illustrator. Her videos are super fun on YouTube, and I follow her on Instagram as well. And then I just doodled some eyes and spread some color around. There is no rhyme or reason to this. It was just sticking things down and moving my hands. That was the point of that. I do like this collage. It's just random pieces that were on my table, plus a stamp that I made. Let's see, do I have that stamp? I do. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I like that really simple graphic imagery. I like the transparency of this paper. Feels a little yin-yangy. Little yin-yangy, that's a professional term. Ugh. Second guessing my decision to do this chatty thing for sure. This was already in there, and I love this. If any of you have followed me for very long, you know that kind of my favorite compositions are accidental, like this. I would frame this. For me, this is very exciting and interesting. And I think I planned to do something else, but I drizzled all this on here to maybe then smear, and then I just liked it that way, so I left it. I like clouds. Everybody likes clouds. Moving on. All right. I think I may have seen an image similar to this on Pinterest or Instagram, but it echoed how I was feeling, and so I scribbled that in. This image had been in this book for a very long time, and had been painted over and painted over and painted over, but I always kept the little skeleton. It didn't have a head, and then when I got that Bye Bun tape, I added the head, and this background has been a dozen different colors. I think it was just a time that I wanted to journal, or I wanted to sketchbook, but I just didn't have any inspiration. I was trying to make myself, and so I just kept repainting the background. Finally, I decided let's move on and just leave the background. So these were pillow cases that I was designing, like pillow covers for throw pillows. They turned out weird and fun, and I liked them. And the sketches are nothing like the final product, but I kind of liked them. They were bizarre and different than what I normally do, so I left those in there. This was another stamp I made. I had a Patreon a couple years ago. I couldn't keep up with it. I had some stuff going on in my life, and I had to shut it down, but I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed having a goal of things to make or share, and it was fun, and I might like to go back to it at some point, but I really enjoyed this stamp, and I just stamped it on a piece of scrap paper. I wasn't feeling it that day, so I just glued the scrap paper in with some other pieces. Same for this, just random scraps on my table, and a splatter. I just glued them down. I don't really know much about collage. I'm not as skilled at it as I would like to be, but it is really fun to do sometimes, especially to put together compositions from just random things in my workspace, which is messy, so there's always random things in my workspace. I'm not sure about these beings. This one makes me think I was doing a Draw Weird Things with Me with Debbie Draws Funny. She's on Instagram and YouTube as well. Super fun. She's a total delight. And she hosts these sketchbook sessions where she hosts all different kinds, but occasionally she'll do ones where she just draws the weirdest images she can find on Pinterest, and they're usually really fun. There's more of them in here. So I'm going to guess this one definitely, and maybe this one, I don't know. So, sometimes I didn't work in order in this book, so it's not always chronological. Anyway, they're kind of funny, and I like their ears. Okay. Phoned it in on these days. Smeared some black gesso and scribbled some flowers. Ta-da. But I did it. So in December of last year, I suddenly found myself critically ill and without any financial support. And so I had to figure out how to make money while working from home so that I could work at my own pace and with my own energy levels. And so I started painting furniture and selling it on Facebook Marketplace. And so this was the first set of chairs that I designed. They were kind of pleather covered chairs. I don't know if you've seen them. I don't even know if I shared them on YouTube or Instagram, but anyway, they were really fun. They turned out super good. There was a gold one with rainbow legs, a cloud one with gold legs. This one was splatter painted, and then had a target with an eye in it, or actually it had a star in it, not an eye, and space legs. And then this one was like stars and had cloud legs. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you all those details, but this this was my planning phase, and then this was just a companion image. Cool. Yes, felt like I had lost my legs. Terrible portrait underneath this black scribble, but this is also how I felt, so accurate. Yeah, so just breathing through some emotions. Unexpected. These images are just simple and nothing, but they have a lot of meaning to them. For me. Pardon me, that was surprising. Okay. I wasn't expecting to have to work this hard at getting through this. So, some shocking and world-breaking things happened. What in the world? Okay. lot to process. A lot of repetitive spiraling thoughts, a lot of confusing, incomprehensible situations. And I couldn't draw. So sorry, worst voiceover ever. So I embraced the grid pattern that is in this book, that this book came with. And I just did a bunch of repetitive movements with my hand. And it helped. Not a lot, but definitely a little. It kept me moving. And there will be more of these type pages where it's just a repetitive thing that I did over and over. I guess a little bit of self-soothing. Well, I don't know what more to say about that, but so there will be more of these, and they were helpful. And your sketchbook doesn't always have to look beautiful or have presentable images or have anything in it except stuff that means something to you. So there. More. I think these were pages that were already painted in this book, and I did not like them, and must have pulled these out of another gridded notebook of some kind, and continued the pattern making. Those hurt my eyes. I don't know if they hurt y'all's, but more repetitive marks. This was also a stamp that I had made that I'd actually stamped on this page, and I painted over it in black and could still see the stamp underneath. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this was just stamps. I had painted over it, the page with black, intending to just totally redo the page, but then there was the ghost image of the stamp, and it was more repetitive, easy marks that I could make. Yep. Oh, skipped one. I hope I don't skip any. They're easy to skip because the pages are so thin. Okay, I'll try to pay attention to the numbers from now on. I'm pretty sure I was watching Alyssa Burke. She does wonderful mandala designs, among other things. And I'm pretty sure I was watching a YouTube video of hers and just doodled along with her. And this, again, started with that stamp. More repetitive marks. More brain soothing. And more. I tried the dots. I needed more. And more. So much brain soothing necessary. More of those hash marks. This was part of Art Hang Party. I tried this a few times early on in the year. This is Melissa Martin at Art Hang Party. She has her own Instagram as well. That's Melissa Martin Art, but this is Art Hang Party specifically. She hosts another sketchbook hang on YouTube. And they're live, and they're super fun, and they're timed. So I tended to write, or I tried to write the time limit that we had, and this week was dragons. I have never drawn a dragon before, so these get goofy. But they were really fun to draw. I'm pretty sure that's just an iguana, but still very dragon-like. These were 5 minutes as well. Oh, I guess these were all 5 minutes. This one is a person holding up the dragon costume. I don't know if that translates. All 5 minutes. I was usually done before the 5 minutes. Like, I was just really scribbling. that's what I enjoy about her art hang party, is that it is timed and you don't really have time to think about it most of the time. Like sometimes she'll do 30 seconds. So 5 minutes is really kind of long for what she typically does. And I needed the quick, like I didn't want to have to think about it. I didn't want to care about the outcome. And so I think I did these faster than 5 minutes. A couple of them, I definitely took the 5 minutes, but I don't think I took the 5 minutes with these. Also 5 minutes. This one was something specific, but not anything I was familiar with, so I can't remember to tell you. Just all kinds of dragons. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if I drew a face and didn't like it, or if I was feeling like this. Could have been either. I enjoy drawing the human form. It's fun. It's a fun skill to work on. Nothing like calling attention to the thing that you're like, terrible. But yeah, more studies. That's how I was feeling that day. I remember that. More studies, but I also really like the ghost image. I don't know if that's visible to this camera. There we go. Can you see the face there? I think it's from the next page, and I didn't have a sheet between, and so the red from here transferred the face that's on the next page, maybe, or maybe it might even be a couple pages onto the body. And so when I looked back through it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. It could look cooler, but it was a great inspiration. It was pretty interesting. I love when things like that happen. Accidental awesomeness. Yeah, it's not even on this page. And there's definitely, that's how I was feeling that day. Also this day. This feels like a raw, like just lots of tears, lots of emotion. I'm pretty sure the whole thing isn't sad. Sorry, guys. It will, but a lot of it probably is. Yeah, there's the face. So, yeah, 2 pages away. Cool. And I think that was just doodling a face. That's definitely how I was feeling that day. I think I liked this face and this face, and thought about making a sticker of some kind. That didn't go very far. But it was fun to think about and doodle. I'm pretty sure that was a Pinterest image. I don't know. I'm gonna guess I had an idea and I tried to make it happen, and then I didn't like it. I think that's the story this page is telling. Had some rough thoughts that day, and maybe this day as well. Wow. I drew some of these like torsos in 2023's 365 page sketchbook, and there's something about this shape that intrigues me, and so I continued to play with it, put different faces on it, do different things with the torso. I'm pretty sure I just felt empty, or empty's not right. I felt like I had a gaping wound, but also like a bunny rabbit. We'll never know. I just playing with eyes. Yep. That's a mouth, that's a nose. Seems like some thought processing was going on as well. I don't know what that page is, and that's okay. Playing with that face again. I feel like that meant something at the time, but I can't remember now. I probably need to make notes in my sketchbook. That would be a good thing to do. I didn't want to draw, and I just drew a plant in the corner. snake plant. Excellent. Repetitive thought I couldn't get rid of. Still struggling with everything, but trying to replace the darkness with love. I remember that day. This was just a weird scribble, just a weird doodle. I kind of like it. It looks like a mask with fun fringe. I think both of these were on Pinterest, and it was just a way to get something down and do something. So these are not mine. I'm pretty sure this one looks nothing like the original. This one probably looks pretty close to the original. A truth I did not want to accept. More funky bunnies. Gotta love it. I do remember sometimes if I could see the image on a previous page, on the next page, I would just copy it in a different color, sometimes in the same medium and material. It was an easy way to do a page, but not have to hurt myself trying to figure out what to do. There's that torso again. Feeling pretty pregnant with sadness there, it looks like. Sad that day. This was a figure drawing, but I didn't like how it turned out. I'm not sure why I circled those specific places. You're welcome. I think this might have been an album cover. I mean, I don't think the album cover actually looks like this, but I had seen it, and then this was my interpretation of it. I like it. Obviously, I did not want to do anything that day, but I still put color on the page. Yep. And some days I would just do any repetitive motion. Something about circles is really soothing to do with my hand when I'm feeling disrupted. Or some plaid. Yeah, I don't know what to say about the plaid. It's there, and I did that. I think this might have been a Pinterest image, but I don't have a strong feeling about that. It definitely was how I was feeling, like just raw and exposed and empty and hollow. Let's move on. Yep, just got something on the page. I love a skull and a skeleton. Yeah. I do like how the images transfer sometimes. It makes a new and interesting image than you had before or intended. I just love that stuff. This was my profile pic for a while. I had written this, gosh, a really long time ago, that I felt like swallowing myself was killing me. And I don't remember if I reread a journal or how I remembered that, but it was something I needed to be reminded of. And so this image came from that. Here's some more art hang party. We drew animals. And I think what we did was we just did all kinds. We prepped our pages beforehand. She told us to prep our pages. And we just did big swashes of color. Swashes. Yep. And then we doodled creatures over the top, little animals. There's an owl. I don't think I wrote how long these were. I think that's a puffin. A seal. Ah, the panda. What a cutie. They were getting faster because I didn't have time to watercolor the pencil background. Yeah, less and less time as we went on. There's supposed to be an alpaca, I think. Bear. I think this was a Pinterest image. I just really enjoyed the color choices of the shadows. It was interesting to me. And then this was my own version of this. Not as good, but doesn't matter. I was just practicing. But I like that idea of the colors being so primary and not traditionally what you would expect. Had a rough day that day. More figure drawing. Just doodling. Similar to the pages where I'm repetitive like this, but I actually got an image out of that one. This is a little scary and dark, not intended to be that way. I think it's on top of notes I had taken talking to somebody I didn't want to have to talk to on the phone. And this was the only notebook I had nearby, so I just covered it up. But it is a face with so many eyes. Yep. More notes. And a torso. This is inspired by, oh shoot, of course I can't remember their name. Oh, I'm so grumpy I can't remember the name. I'll put it in the edited version on the screen. So just fun doodles. Just getting something on the page. I haven't talked about what materials I'm using. I don't know that anybody cares right now. I'm pretty sure this was a Debbie Draws Funny doodle sesh. I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, these pages was more furniture painting. I painted a black wicker table and a different wicker table with both of these floral designs. That was super fun. Just more floral doodles. This is just an ink pen. Let's see, I just said I was going to tell you about my materials. This is Stabilo Woodies. That's a funny name, I know, but that's what they are. I don't have them nearby, but they're a water-soluble colored pencil, and they're really fat, really thick, and I love them. Can't do very precise sketching with them, and I like a loose line. This is just a regular Stabilo pencil, the black, and then the woodies for the colors. Okay, this is just an ink pen, just not a sketching pen, just a regular ink pen. Same. A few flowers, a few strawberries. I was a florist for many, many years. I enjoyed that. More doodling just to get something on the page, and cherries and some eucalyptus. This is colored pencils. I'm pretty sure this is woodies. I just like saying woodies. These seemed like a good couple of days. I think I was doing well in those days. I know I felt like I was free falling a lot of the time, and so tired. Like, tired was my entire personality for a while. Tired is not a big enough word. Like, bone deep fatigue on top of the personal trauma that happened. I had been critically ill for about 3 years, ill for over a decade, but critically so for about 3 years. And I couldn't get anyone to listen to me or believe me, doctors or my family. I found out recently that not even my person believed that I was ill. And I gave up for about 8 or 9 months. I just quit trying to get doctors to take me seriously, to run more tests, to be consistent in figuring out what the problem was. Then I picked it back up in January of 2024, and it took until August when I showed up for a doctor's appointment just feeling so awful. I couldn't do anything. Getting dressed made me feel like my heart was going to explode. Taking a shower was out of the question. Rolling over in bed sometimes just sent my heart pounding, and then that would lead to a panic attack because, what the heck was going on? And I insisted that they do blood work. They kept trying to say that I was just tired or I was stressed because of things that had happened this year. And I was like, all of those things are true, but this is bigger than that. And I got a call. My appointment was on a Friday, and I got a call on Saturday morning at 6:30 from the lab saying I needed to come in immediately for an emergency blood transfusion. And it took 2 of those while I waited for my insurance to approve the surgery I needed, which I finally got at the end of September. And I'm still not quite 100%, but definitely so much better than where I was. And super frustrated that it took such a critical health issue to get anyone to take me seriously, but really grateful that it's finally handled and I can build up my strength and my stamina and feel like a human being again. So it was a long story about those 2 pages. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is another page where I just did this scribble. That was all I could manage that day. And then the next day I did whatever this is. I think I just made blobs and then colored around them. Like some days that was all I could do. And it's still a really interesting image to me. I don't know what it means or what it's about. But then I didn't put a protector. In between. And so what I did on the next page is transferred over, and I love it. It just looks really interesting. Talking to myself. It doesn't matter why. I think I intended to do the whole page with these, but ran out of gas. And this looks like Woody's probably. Yes, we did skip a couple. It's okay. I was trying to enjoy the color, and I did. And that was what I could manage those days. Okay, here's some of the Let's Draw Weird Things Together with Debbie Draws Funny. I love that I wrote her thing in here. Very cool of me. Okay. So, she just found these bizarre things on Pinterest, and they weren't drawings or paintings or anything. Like, this was a carrot doll. I don't know who plays with carrot dolls or who it was made for, but it was there, and we drew it. This was a dish. Pretty cursed dish, but also super cute somehow. I loved this guy. He was a little wooden figure. His arms and legs were not articulated, but like they were dangly, so they flopped around. I don't know, he was super cute. This was my favorite. This was a Kleenex box that had actual hair and a doll face on it, like a Kleenex box cover, you know? I never did those, but I had grandmas who did, and best Kleenex box cover I've ever seen, truly. Tough couple of days. Moving on. I was trying to channel my grief into something I could make money with. It did not work, but I still got some images out of it in my sketchbook. Unfortunately, that guy transferred over here, and it was not as cool as sometimes it can be. I think these were in preparation for thinking about some paintings. I'm pretty sure I did some paintings of these. This image means a lot to me. It's actually mimicked from Ruth B. Loveland on Instagram. She's actually a local artist to where I live. I think she's an incredible artist. She does these beautiful oil paintings, like stunningly beautiful oil paintings. And it'll be a rainbow in a sky. And then she puts these sad little grumpy eyes with the rainbow. And it's just the most delightful thing. And it feels like me. I mean, I know a lot of people probably feel this way. I'm not special, but the first time I saw her painting, and this looks nothing like her painting, by the way, this is very simplified. Go look her up, Ruth B. Loveland. She's amazing. Anyway, it was the first time I saw her oil painting of this grumpy rainbow guy. I was like, that's me. That's 1,000% me. I feel sad a lot of the time, but also delighted with the world and recognizing of its beauty. But also life is hard. So just a grumpy rainbow, I think. This was also prep for a painting. The painting looks nothing like this, but it was inspiration. More rainbow mouths, because why not? Fills the pages, run with it. Getting a little more colorful in my brain taming right there. I think that turned out to be a painting as well. Not a good one. I'm not saying these were good paintings, but it did go on to spawn more creativity. Yeah, was not feeling it that day. That's probably a Pinterest image that I mimicked. I'm certain it doesn't look anything like the original, but it's fun. I love a bird. That's a me. Not this one, this one. Yeah, that's done with the Stabilo Woodies. This one as well. I think this was a fashion image that I doodled. This was the bowl that I painted. Oh, I had so much fun painting that bowl. If I knew where it was, I would show it to you, but that is on my Instagram, the painting of that. So if you want to go back and see that, you can. This wasn't even done in my sketchbook. This is how not feeling it that day I was. So, just scribbled some colors on a clear Post-it and stuck it in the book. Works great. More bowl. I was planning the outside of the bowl. So this, obviously, y'all, it says it right there. Bowl inside, bowl outside. And I did all this doodling with the Stabilo Woodies. I think this was just figuring out the colorways that I wanted to work with on the outside of the bowl. And I don't think it ended up looking hardly at all like this, but that's okay. More hands. Just a way to fill a page and enjoy the color. Some floral doodles. I really liked this one I did in the black woody with the really thick pencil. And I liked it, so I just mirrored it over here in ink pen. I'm not sure. Also, no idea. Just doodling. I think I just tried a different colorway with that design. I don't like that one as much. I think I was planning more bowls, but then I couldn't find the one bowl that I thought I still had. I don't know, guys. I'm pretty sure these are all Stabilo Woodies. And I think this design came through and kind of, you can't really even see that design anymore, which is fine. Yep. These were feels pages. Oh, and that's another example of, I just did the same thing on a different side. And oh, cool. These marks are from the back side. Nice. trying to feel the happy. I don't know what that was. More figure drawing. I get more into it later in the book, but I'm fascinated by how little you can get away with and still render a figure, a recognizable figure. I had to have seen this somewhere. This may have been an anime that I was watching or a movie. Oh, what's that? I think there's a vampire movie about, and a girl walked home alone. No, that's a totally different movie. It's black and white vampire movie, but it's new-ish, like maybe 4 years old. Anyway, if I remember it, I will type it on the screen. I like that image, though. I think that was a Pinterest image. Here I'm playing with ideas. I think this, I don't know. I think I might have come up with an idea for a line of stickers called Sad Girl stickers. I don't know why anyone would want to buy Sad Girl stickers, but at the moment it felt good. So, yeah. More fruit. A little lemon for you there. There is an artist who does these really chunky, painted, graphic floral images, and I'm pretty sure I was copying them off of Pinterest. Yeah, here's some more. And I just did the reverse image over here over a silly list. And then I just drew a branch from outside. This is all just an ink pen. I have it right here. This is my favorite pen to write with, Uniball Vision Elite. It's juicy and inky, and I like it. It is not waterproof. If you get any other media on this, it will bleed, which I like, but just FYI. It's not meant for sketching. It's just a writing pen. Just some hands, because why not? I love hands. Still really struggle with sketching, just to sketch. Inspiration is one of my motivators. Rote habit irritates me endlessly. How to sketch like me is still eluding me. Yeah, still doing a lot of copying, and I'm unhappy with a lot of the things that I did myself. Some tulips. Some mums. I'm not sure what that guy is. Little branch. This is a seed pod, all with that same pen I just showed you. This one. Some blooms. I would guess those are tulips. I love a tulip when it's finished blooming, when it's all open and vulnerable. I like it. Some poppies. Just making sure I will know I will be okay. This is a quote from Cheryl Strayed that helped. Oh, I found some fun pencils in my stash, highlighter pencils. Oh, it got real dirty. They're super fun. They're really bright. They're kind of like Stabilo in that they mark on just about anything. They're really waxy. And I just have them in 4 colors. And I just did some doodling with those. That's that same ink pen. Playing off the image in the background, I just did some vines. I don't know. Looks like a circus tent. I don't remember why I drew a circus tent, but it's cute. Song lyric. Oh, maybe the elephant is for the circus tent. I don't think I've ever drawn an elephant before or since. It's a love elephant. All right. Love a sun image. Love a mark making situation. Pretty sure we were getting into the warmer months here. I think these eyes were on Pinterest. I really liked the, I don't know, what would you call that? The like edgy graphicness of those eyes. Anyway, so I copied them. They were fun. And then I did a sun with an eye. Didn't want to do anything that day, so I scribbled. Blind contour with dominant hand, blind contour with non-dominant hand. I remember this, and I remember being surprised that I liked the non-dominant hand one better than the dominant hand one. So blind contour, just in case you don't know. Ooh, ooh, the hands are stiff today. Oh. Okay. So blind contour is when you look at the thing you're drawing more or only than you look at the paper. That didn't make any sense. Blind contour, I think traditionally blind contour is when you don't look at the paper at all. You only look at the object you're drawing. This looks too together for me to have not looked at the paper at all. So I don't think it was fully blind. But I definitely looked at my hand more than I looked at the paper. Same for this one, but I like this one so much more, even that crazy thumb. What's going on with that thumb? Those are fun to do though. The images you get from doing partially blind or fully blind contour is really entertaining. Sometimes they are insane, but in a great way. And that was just that same ink pen. I tend to use the same materials over and over, or I get in a rut and that's what's close, and so that's what I use. Oh, this was fun. I think this was a prompt from somebody somewhere of cover your page in a medium and then draw with the eraser. So I did a plant. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see my screen actually. I know I saw this somewhere, maybe on a napkin or it looked cool. Just a nice graphic image. There's some more flowers. I should say in the middle of this book, and I'm gonna say here, I stopped. I just stopped, and it was maybe more than the middle. We're on 220. For months. I just didn't sketch anything. I couldn't. I just couldn't. So when I picked it back up again, I still didn't really want to, and I didn't know what to do. So I literally just drew the alphabet, y'all. So here we go, A. And I did these with those Stabilo Woody pencils, the big fat colored pencils, water soluble. A. B for blueberry, apparently. A nice 80s balloon letter. C, D, E, F, G. I guess I don't have to say the letters, do I? I like trying out different colorways. They got fun toward the end. These are feeling like Katie Daisy letters. I don't know if y'all follow her on Instagram. She does some really colorful, delightful illustrations. Katie Daisy. And just so you're prepared, I'm pretty sure I did numbers as well. So here we go. Yep. I think I only went to 10. Okay. All right. So after the alphabet and the numbers, I still didn't really feel inspired by anything in particular. And it was October at this point, and I was enjoying scary movies that I love, or just fall Halloweeny movies, not necessarily scary. And so I thought I would draw an image of each movie that I was watching. I don't think it lasted very long, but this was Bram Stoker's. This is Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is, oh shoot, what is her name? Lucy, who was turned into a vampire, and this was her wedding dress that she was supposed to wear when she got married, but she didn't. I did it all in this orange highlighter pencil. My apologies. This hurts my eyes. I don't know how it feels to you all, or even if it translates. This obviously got bled through from somewhere. I don't even, I think there were notes on this page. Yeah, and I drew over the top of them. This was Practical Magic. So the tequila, the toad, and the roses. Crimson Peak. That I did with just a red Stabilo. Quick note. An alarm just went off on my phone, which is my camera, which stopped the filming. And so I stopped the alarm, but forgot to turn the camera back on. So I got almost to the end of this and realized my camera was not on. So here we go. So I did this with a red Stabilo. I love Crimson Peak. I really like Del Toro's movies in general. This is Legend with Tom Cruise from the 80s. One of my favorite movies. I prefer the Tangerine Dream soundtrack version. This was done with black and red Stabilo. And I did it on another piece of paper and glued it in here, probably because my sketchbook was not handy and I did not feel like getting up and finding it. This is 28 Days Later. Another favorite. I think I've heard they're making a 28 Years Later. I hope it's good. This is Blade Runner. This is Prue, Daryl Hannah's character. The Cell. This is J-Lo when she appears as the Madonna in Vincent D'Onofrio's Subconscious. I liked that. The bright colors of that image. That whole movie is gorgeous. I did not have the oomph to doodle any of the more intricate images. This is definitely not my favorite. It was just the easiest. But I love that movie. This is, even though this doesn't look like the hands for eyes creature in Pan's Labyrinth, I'm sure it has an actual name, but I don't know it. That's what this is. This is, oh, I made notes. Good job, me. Only Lovers Left Alive. Obviously a pretty abstract representation, but that's a beautiful movie as well. This is Witches of Eastwick. I was not feeling it this day, but this is the bowl of cherries, cherry and the pits, and these are the ladies, I believe. This is Under the Skin, but I don't know what. That's very abstract. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I was thinking there. This is Silent Hill and Pyramid Head. Yeah. This is World War Z, but I'm not sure why. Just did a bunch of scribbles, which that makes sense for the chaos. This is just like, this is a piece of a firewood bag. and just a transparent piece of paper glued on top. I don't know how that represents World War Z. And then I quit doing that. I didn't do the movies anymore. This was just how I was feeling that day. I'm pretty sure there's actually video of me doing this on my Instagram account. I know I did this in ink with the ink dropper. I drew it with the ink dropper, and this was white ink with a paintbrush. But I don't know what it is or why. I don't know if he's on fire or if he's being haunted. Okay, this one is just acrylic paint, and I just smeared it with my fingers. Actually, the background is acrylic paint, but this is, I sketched with a Stabilo, and then I went back over it with my finger, with a wet finger, and just smeared it. And I felt blurry that day, so that felt appropriate. This was a page I didn't like, and when I came back to it later, I just did this figure drawing over it and painted around it and extended it over to this page, and it turned into something that I enjoy. It's interesting to look at. I'm pretty sure that was a Pinterest image that I mimicked. It's not as good as the original, but it was fun. I really liked the way they used the color and the graphic lines. Was really interesting to me. This was a day I was feeling exposed and seen in a way that was not pleasant. I used a blue Stabilo pencil for these. I did the drawing, the sketch first, and then I went back with a water brush on this one. This one I just sprayed, I just spritzed with water. I don't think there are anything in particular, just scribbly doodles. I'm not sure why she has vampire-y ears, but I like it. This was a day that I got some news that I felt pretty slapped in the face with, so that's that. And then some more figure study. For this, I used this chunky graphite stick. I have had this so long, I don't remember the brand name of it, but I love it, and I'm a little bummed because I want more. It's water soluble, but you can also just doodle with it like regular. I really like it. I can control my lines if I want to, but most of the time I just use it wet and loose, and I like the lines that I get with it. Yeah, just how I was feeling that day. And this was a combo of the Stabilo and the graphite stick. This one, I think I was scribbling like a fashion image, and this is a dress, and so these are like the shadows of the folds and stuff. And I did it with an oil pastel, and this is just her, her head and her arms and stuff. But it's not great, but it was fun to play with, and just use my finger to, just smear it in here and then use it to make the shadows was interesting. I think this one started out as a Pinterest image that I was copying, but I went kind of off the rails with it. And I think at the time I knew what all these weird little symbols and things meant, but I don't remember now. But I still like it. It's wacky. This was just a Stabilo, and then I used a water brush. Oops. A water brush. I love a water brush. You can take it with you, and you don't have to take a container of water. I have about 3 of these. Clearly, I did not want to be drawing that day. That's with one of those highlighter pencils I told you about earlier. And it's, yeah. This was a self-portrait with a red, blue, and brown Stabilo. I can't get enough of these. I love them. They mark on anything. They write on any surface. They'll write on top of acrylic paint, oil paint, watercolor. They are water soluble, so if you put wet media on top of them, they'll smear, but I like that. Yeah, I like that. This was a section of Pinterest that was more like stylized sketching, and I don't know why she feels French to me, but she does, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. I did these with a little Vine charcoal, and they don't smear because I spray my pages with this matte clear enamel. I used to use Art Fixative, but that stuff's really expensive now. Like, it's a crazy amount per bottle. I don't understand. And that stuff is like $3 a bottle. So if you spray it too heavily, it can make your paper transparent, because it's obviously not meant for paper, but I just do it real lightly, and then my charcoal doesn't smear, and it's awesome. It's another self-portrait. I love drawing shadows or negative space and not actually drawing the positive space or the positive lines. It's fascinating to me. I really enjoy it. I don't feel very good at it, but it's always an interesting image. I guess it looks kind of like a stencil might, but yeah, I really enjoy doing that. I think I do that a couple more times in here. Just a weird selfie that day. I was not feeling it. That's just like pencil, and I'm not sure what all that is. Several different kinds of pencils. I don't know what that yellow is, though. This was a Pinterest image, but it felt really representational of how I was feeling at that time. And so I just mimicked it, and I love it. It's very cool. Here's another selfie. This is early morning bedhead. Weird fact, when I draw myself, I tend to not draw myself with glasses, even though I wear them all the time. I don't think I have anything against glasses. I just don't picture myself that way. Like, I was just looking in a reflection for this one, and so obviously I had my glasses on, but did not draw them. I don't know. That's something to dive into another time. This was actually a Pinterest image. So simple, so funny, so sweet on some level. And so I just scribbled that down. Thought it was really cute. Okay. These, there are a couple painters who do these really textural portraits that don't have any human features at all. They just have globs of paint. And I like them. I find them really intriguing. And so I tried to recreate those with just my Stabilo Woody pencils, and did not work, but it was really fun to play with and try. This was done with these. These are, I think they're called gelatos, but that's also ice cream, so I don't, or frozen custard or something like that. So I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but they're really fun. They're like paint sticks, or they're actually like oil pastels, but softer and smoother. And these all have a little bit of a shimmer to them, which is not typically my vibe, but they're really fun. Again, I like them because they're chunky and you can't make a really fine line with them. I mean, actually you can, but more often than not, they're just chunky. And I think these were Pinterest images, but they don't look anything like the originals, but they were fun to play with. Just some scribbly sketches. I haven't done skulls in a while. I used to draw skulls all the time, and it disturbed a lot of people that I knew. They were worried about my mental health. It wasn't that. I did a lot of, because people ask me about it so often, I did a lot of thinking about why I'm so drawn to bones. And I think ultimately it's because I have felt very other, I guess, most of my life. And that at the bones is where we're all the same. That feels really deep. Or maybe not at all. Animals as well. I really enjoy animal bones also. I just find them aesthetically pleasing. I think they're beautiful. Little snake with eyes for you. I don't know why, it just seemed fun. There's that blue bunny. This was more of like how little of a figure can I get away with before and still have it represent a figure. I really like it. It's kind of spooky, but it's cool. I like it. This is definitely a copy of a Tina Burning, I think, on Instagram. She does beautiful sketches in watercolor and pencil, and I think she started in fashion sketching, but her images are really, this is like the least interesting of her images. But look her up, Tina Burning, she's fun. I think I just felt like I had a lot of faces, a lot of hats, a lot of different people I was having to be for different situations in my life at that time. Some more figure studies, all done with those Stabilo pencils. Yeah, more Stabilo. This one was really fun to do. I sketched it in the Stabilo pencil, and then I went back with a water brush and filled it in and blurred lines, and I don't know, that was fun. Yeah, it's kind of an image of the mask that I feel like I would have to wear a lot. I was feeling raw that day. A lot of feelings that day. This is how I feel when I wear makeup. I don't typically wear makeup, but that's how I was feeling. And that looks like Stabilo. Looks like a gold, one of the gelatos, as well as ink pen. And then, like I like to do, it bled through on the backside. And so this is how I feel when I wake up from having slept in makeup, because I forgot to wash it off my face. Pretty sure this was a Pinterest image. I don't feel anything special about it. I was just trying to get something down on the page. Ah, there's more of that shadow sketching. And up close, I don't think it represents, but further away, which I can't really get you guys much further away, it looks more like a face. I just love doing that. On that day, I felt like a little teapot, short and stout. Tip me over and pour me out. I love a single line drawing. It's hard to see this one anymore because it's kind of bled through. But just a little girl image. This was done in Stabilo. Trying to break it up with a different kind of image. I think this was quilt patterns. And I liked these specific shapes. This is another Tina Burning doodle. I like that one. I really enjoy how she mixes her media and colors. I like that. I want to take that into my work. Part of me copying or mimicking other people's work is I like something about their work and I want to figure out how to use it in my own. This was done with the gelatos and a Stabilo. I did the outline in that Stabilo pencil, and then I came back in the middle with a white oil pastel and just made it all kind of blurry and scrubby. And yeah, that's how I was feeling that day. I like that one. This is a Pinterest image and it was just cute and sweet. There's a selfie with my glasses and look, they transferred to the paper. I guess I didn't spray that one. Nope, so we're gonna leave those in there. This was a blind contour of a sketch that I was looking at on Pinterest. So in an effort to not copy directly, because I had a moment of thinking, I can't do that. That's terrible. It's not terrible. It's fine. It's my sketchbook. I'm not selling it. But I did a blind contour of like all the shading and shadows and lines, and it was okay. And I think when I was finished, I came back and did the nostrils because I was like, oh no, that just looks like a weird thing in the middle of his face. I can't remember. I think there's video of me sketching that one. Put glasses on that one. This is that big chunky graphite. All of the black in this is that, and then a red Stabilo. This was a photograph, and again, it's that graphite stick. I think this was a Pinterest image, but I think I went away from it. I just did the outline in the Stabilo. I think you guys watched this in my sketch. All of these I think you've seen. And after I sketched it in the wet Stabilo, I came back with that white oil pastel bit. I don't know why I use these little tiny bits, but I keep them and I use them. And it had some red on it from a previous thing I had smeared, probably that one I showed you just a few minutes ago. And so it made this cool bit of pink here that I couldn't have done on purpose. I mean, I could have tried, but it wouldn't have looked the same. And it even made that little line and divot on your throat and neck area. I thought it turned out really cool. I like it quite a bit. I tried to do this as a one-line drawing, and this was Stabilo pencil, and it was okay. That was a selfie just in ballpoint pen, like this. This too, the proportions are not great. They're okay from like here up, but from here down they're upsetting. But it's okay. It's just a sketchbook. That's how I was feeling that day. Tornado on legs. I can't remember if I treated those. No. Oh, so this one was really fun because I did this, and then it's here too, but you can see it better here. The sketching of this lady left indentations on this page because the paper's so thin, and so it left this ghost image of her. Okay, I can't tell I can't see my screen, so I hope that's focusing for y'all, but I thought it looked really cool in the end. Oh, put this back. I've sprayed these. I think something similar to this was on Pinterest, and then I just sort of did my own version. This was a Pinterest image. I just really liked the graphicness of it. And of course the original one had a much bolder and cleaner red, but I still thought it was really cool. I love the teeth on the black like that. Love it, love it. Just a quickie with a red Stabilo pencil dipped in water. I had seen a guy on, I think he's probably on TikTok, but I don't get on TikTok. I don't have anything against it. It just hurts my brain. He does these cool ink works where he puts water down first and paints his images, and then he drops the ink in and it spreads, and you see the image bloom and appear before you. Very unsuccessfully tried that here with water and this graphite stick. It didn't work, but it was fun to try. I don't remember who she is. It could be me. It could be a photograph. I literally just did that a few days ago. These were just really quick, scribbly sketches, all in a black Stabilo pencil dipped in water. You saw me do these in that sketch video that I posted just recently, and they were super fun to do. I love how you don't have control over where it's, wet and bleedy and where it's just thick, and then where it goes back to just being pencil. I think it leaves a really interesting image behind. They look real goofy sometimes. But, oh, these were with the graphite stick. So those others were Stabilo, but these were with this guy. The red is Stabilo, but the line is with that graphite stick. Another figure study. A little more success with the ink and water here. I used the Stabilo instead of the graphite stick, and that flowed a little better. Same, water and Stabilo. I really like this one. At the end, I just took my pencil that was wet and just shook it at the page and got all those little drips that were fun. This was definitely a Pinterest image that I just thought was interesting. It reminded me a little bit of the Ghibli movie Castle in the Sky. The little blocky robot guys, not the rest of it, just that guy. I loved this. That was really fun to do, and I really liked the outcome. More feeling watched and judged. Super fun. It's my favorite. Just being silly. More figure study. Her head is lopsided, but I didn't care enough to fix it. That's that graphite stick again. More graphite stick. These were photo images, photographs on Pinterest. I just have a whole folder of faces that I go and sketch sometimes. They're really fun. It's another one. She was mostly in shadow. She looked a lot cooler than this, but I like how it turned out anyway. More figure study. This is a blue Stabilo pencil dipped in water. Sometimes you just need a hug. Back to a skull. And y'all watched me do this. It's this black Stabilo pencil, and I only did it on the eyes, the mouth, and the little indentations, and then the rest of it was water brush. I really like how that turned out. Graphite stick, just draw in the shadows. She looks like she has some hot goss, and her lips are not the right size for her face, but that's fine. I don't know about this one. I don't remember. It looks like Stabilo, and oil pastel. I really like the effect that oil pastel has, especially when it has other colors on it. I really like that. That's really fun. Just a creepy little dude. Just a creepy little bunny. These were both done with Stabilo pencil. I think this was Pinterest. This was a really graphic looking skull that was really different, and I don't love it, but it was fun to try to mimic. I do love this cat. His eye was unintentional, but I think it works, and I think it's appropriate. So there it is. That's my... There are actually a few pages left in the sketchbook. I don't know if I'll finish them or not. And I've started my new one. I think I showed this to y'all already, that I'm doing a self-portrait a day, and they're not representational. They're not realistic. They're just how I'm feeling that day. Sometimes they're kind of a figure. Sometimes they're not at all a figure, but I'm having fun with it so far. All right. I hope you all enjoyed that. I felt like it was awkward. I'm pretty sure I said interesting approximately 1.7 million times. And really feel like I overshared, but I am awkward and a bit of an oversharer sometimes. If you have any tips, I am open. This is the first time I've ever done anything like that, where I talk about it. I feel like I probably didn't give you information that you actually wanted. So if you have any questions, please just feel free to ask. And thanks so much for watching. I super appreciate it. I'll be posting another flip through that just has music with it and no chattiness. Thanks so much. Bye.